Just so you know, I'm not taking off this beanie until I get a haircut. Okay? Okay. Hello, lovely people. Look what's going up at the moment. Obviously, it's not finished yet because there are a lot of blank spaces that I need to fill. So I will film that when it is done. I'm not going to set a deadline because I will procrastinate way over that deadline. Okay. Also, sorry I didn't make a video last week because at that time I was drowning in mock exams. For those who don't know what mock exams are, they're sort of rehearsals for the exams that you do in the summer. They just use last year's official papers, but it is still in the exam hall, exam conditions, complete silence. Kinda sucks. And I had 18 of these. Not 80, 18. Okay? God forbid I had 80. See, 18 may seem a lot, but some people who I know had over 20, which is a lot. Like I said near the start of my video, exams suck, which I think we can pretty much all agree on. I myself find exams stressful because I am boxed in by 50 people, which makes me panic. But also if my stomach rumbles because we're in complete silence, no one can say anything about it, which is really funny. See, I've heard that in America, and I'm not sure about Australia, but I've heard in America, when you finish your test paper, you can get up, hand it in, and leave. It's not quite the same in England. You see, in England, when we're finished with our test paper, we sit in our chair until the exam is over. So if you're sat in a 2-hour exam and you finish an hour early, well, sucks for you because you're just going to have to sit there and do nothing for an hour. Last year I had a chemistry exam, and when I walked in, I sat down in my allocated seat and I felt something crunch in my pocket. Turns out that thing in my pocket were revision notes for that test. Now, I'm not sure about what anyone else does, but when you bring revision notes for that test into the test that you have the revision notes for, you're probably gonna get in a bit of trouble for it. And I have to mention that this was completely accidental. I have no intention of cheating on an exam. So I was trying to squish these papers into my pocket so that no one could, like, see them. And I gave up doing that, so I took off my blazer. Yes, we wear blazers, it's the uniform. And squished it up behind me so that the invigilators couldn't see the notes. Safe to say I got away with it. Or so I thought. One of the invigilators kept us all behind, stood at the front of the huge exam hall and said, "Someone had sweets in the exam hall, which are not allowed," and I could hear the rustling of the packet of sweets at the beginning of the exam when you were all walking in. That was me in the papers. We do not allow food in the exam hall, and I hope this does not happen again. So yeah, I got away with it. Fucking scary though. And the moral of that story is to always check your pockets for things like earphones and revision notes before you go into the exam, because you will regret it and you will be very, very guilty. Yeah. And also that you should revise for the tests in the summer, because when you open that exam paper and you don't remember anything, that is probably the worst feeling you can get, in my opinion. Whereas if you've revised for a test and you open the paper and you think, I know everything on this paper, that's a lot better in comparison, don't you think? I think so. Tell me below about your stresses about exams in the comments, and I will see you next week. Bye.